wow, so this is a thing that happened? Yeah. So I and many other people have been saying forever now that Krunker is dying, alright, or at the very least going stagnant. In other words, the game hasn't been doing too hot recently, and it's been cooling off for nearly a year. And it's to the point where many people, including myself kinda, have quit the game, or are on hiatus, or in other ways protesting the lack of content that's been coming out. And for a while, it just seemed like the devs were not equipped to handle the workload of trying to keep Krunker afloat, let alone evolve the game and bring meaningful content to it. So what a lot of people, content creators especially, were saying might have to happen is that Sydney, who's, the head developer, the big boss, would have to hire some more people to help out. Or if possible, have another developer acquire the game. Just somehow, some way, get more manpower behind this project to keep it rolling. Maybe return it to its glory days. And we can probably guess where I'm going with this, but that's exactly what happened earlier today, as of when I'm recording this. Crunker has been acquired by another developer. Yeah, they've been acquired by a development studio called FRVR. The announcement was in the Crunker bunker from Sydney himself, and yeah, the game basically has a much larger team now that will eventually hopefully be able to handle the load of keeping Crunker alive and thriving. The announcement starts by stating pretty much what many have suspected, and that is that the devs were being spread thin. Alright, the goals for Crunker were being limited by the small team size, and they were having difficulty keeping a steady stream of content. So they brought these FRVR guys in to help them. And even though it's a different, larger team, Sydney's still going to be the big boss. And he also said not to expect any immediate changes to the game because the new blood needs to be circulated and brought up to temperature, I guess. And there's some more info about how they're going to bring in more content creators, focus on, better weapon balancing, improving and optimizing on performance, and even some extra focus on the custom game side of things. And yeah, they actually sold, or I don't know what exactly happened behind the scenes, but they listened. They brought on a whole bunch of new developers to work on a game and hopefully save it, alright? The Mad Lads have actually done it. The real question now, though, is will it work? And I'm not quite sure yet. After reading the announcement for the first time, the first question I had about all this was about who exactly these FRVR guys are. And to be honest, after my research, I still have no idea. From what I can gather, they seem to be mostly another casual browser game dev, like super casual, kind of like mobile games. But as far as casual games are concerned, they're pretty solid, if not a bit generic. Apparently the founder of FRVR made some hexagon-based puzzle game in 2015 and it went viral on Reddit, and that's what you're seeing right now. That's what I'm playing here, and it's a puzzle game, alright? I've played a lot like it. It's a thing, I guess it was cool back then, but it's kind of just generic now. I also played the Gold Digger game, and I enjoyed it, although there were some annoying things about it, like how rocks would move in ways you don't intend, while they're being finicky, things like that. And they also have these somewhat generic games like basketball, solitaire, curling, or even some match 3 games. Like, it's clear that these guys know what they're doing. I mean, they do have some level of polish to them for what they are, but they just seem like mostly casual mobile games. And now apparently Krunker's gonna somehow, some way fit into this ecosystem. I don't know how. I don't even know if they're gonna try, but it's just, I really don't know how to feel about this whole thing. Like, I'm super glad Krunker has more hands on deck now, and FRVR definitely seem competent, at least, all things considered. And at the end of the day, Sydney is still the big boss of Krunker, so things are hopefully going to smooth over nicely and maintain as much of the Krunker charm as before. But I don't know, alright? Like, there's so much work that needs to be done with Krunker that FRVR really needs to process before even attempting to think about how to tackle it. From what can be gathered from this announcement, the OG devs and the Fiverr devs, did I just say Fiverr? The FRVR devs and the OG devs are getting along, and they seem to be super dedicated to the whole thing and everything, so that instills some semblance of hope. And I do have some information on what could come of custom map making, and while I can't share that with you, I can say that the map I mentioned a few bits back may not be my last map after all. Like, there are plenty of reasons to be excited about this deal, and it's certainly at the least a step in the right direction. But at the end of the day, How many times have the Krunker devs promised good things in the future, only for them to end up as disappointments? If they happen at all. Yeah, a lot of people's trust in the game has wavered, especially in the last few months, and I really do think that the task of saving Krunker is a monumental undertaking that the FRVR folks really need to prepare for. In the end, I would like to say that I'm cautiously optimistic about this deal. If things work out, this really could be returned to form for Crunker, and if not, then I don't know what else they can really do to save things, to be honest. Either way, all we can do is just wait and see, and hope, and pray if that's your thing.